That's good. And we're
so
live.
far.
We're live with another episode of BS Busters, and we're here fantastically early. Well, not really, like 5 minutes early. Because basically the panelists were here, and I was like, why not? Why not get started early? So before we go any further, let's have everyone introduce themselves.
We'll start with the lady.
Thank you, boys. Boys and girls of all ages, this is Julia Eli Moonstar, the Gaming Mage, and I welcome you to this podcast.
And Pinky.
This is Piggy Dog from Video Game Facts. And boy, was this direct sent a lot of mixed messages with its audience.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh boy, I can hear it already.
And this is including the last part of the Sci-Fi Power Hour-ish podcast before we went offline.
Yeah, I don't really want to call it mixed messages. It's just like,
It was just trying to find a way to say it, to put it nicely.
yeah. So I went to Nintendo Life, and there's a nice little synopsis of all the stuff that's here. So I guess we can go through, and I'll give a link so we can all be on the same page with what as we go through, the stuff. So everyone can be on the same page. So I guess we can start with the first part of the Direct, which was the 3DS announcements, which begins with Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn coming to the 3DS. So they're porting the Wii game, which, I mean, this isn't the first time we've had a Wii game ported to the 3DS. The Yoshi game was ported. Donkey Kong Returns was ported. So
And I'm pretty sure there's people debating that New Super Mario Bros. Was ported onto the 3DS, even though it's a completely new title.
New Super Mario Brothers? No, the new Super Mario Brothers game that's being ported is the Wii U version, and that's to the Switch. Although technically speaking, since all the new Super Mario Brothers games have been using the same engine since the DS,
It was pretty easy.
yeah, you could technically say it's been ported to multiple things because of the same engine, same assets, more or less. Although I have to say, New Super Mario Brothers U is probably the prettiest one that they've come out with, just because it was the first one that was in HD. But we're getting ahead. So your guys' thoughts on Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn?
See, I'll probably consider buying it.
Okay. Joel?
For me, I passed. This is the weird Kirby games and other ones.
That's strange. I mean, for me, the joy of Kirby's Epic Yarn was that it was great to play co-op. It was a nice little fun game to play with in tandem with someone else. I'm not really that enthused about it being on the go, because the fun part of that game was playing co-op with a friend, like playing together.
Well,
yeah,
you can still do that with someone who doesn't have a.
Yeah, but it's just not the same. Like sitting in front of a TV playing that with, in my case, my girlfriend or a relative or a cousin or something like that. That feeling can't be replicated
on a handheld.
On a handheld. So, they're two different gaming experiences.
Yeah, I feel like it's a weird game experience when you're playing it on a console, and people are starting to think that they're supposed to be one and the same.
Well, yeah, there's some games that are really built to be on a console, and there's some games that it doesn't really matter. Like an RPG, typically speaking, if it's on a handheld or console, it's not really going to mean anything. That's just the way it is. And then there's some games that, Like they lend themselves to a particular platform. Like if you're playing a huge sports game, right? Like let's say like a sim, playing that on a handheld kind of diminishes it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're playing like a platformer, that can be on either one, a handheld, a home console, doesn't matter. RPGs, depending on the scope of the RPG, like some RPGs, like the world ends with you. That game was better on handheld. It would be kind of weird to have it on a home console, even though now they're porting it to a home console. You know,
that's the thing that I'm not sure of feeling. Like The World Ends With You was a DS title,
yeah.
and it's going to the Switch.
I mean, both handheld devices have a touch screen, so you can use those things. Although the DS had the stylus, which made it easier to do certain types of touch things with the stylus than to use your greasy fingers. So whatever, doesn't really mean much to me.
Yeah, using a controller for those things, that's going to be a task.
I mean, whatever. I mean, it's Square Enix, so I mean, you know how how I think about them. So Kirby's Epic Yarn looks cool.
Guys, later.
Yeah, Kirby's Epic Yarn looks cool. I'm not getting the game just because I already have it for the Wii, and even with the extra stuff, it's not really enough to entice me to get the new one. Next, Mario Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. So basically, it's what they did with the first game in the series, the Superstar Saga, except now
the extra mode is involved Bowser Jr.
Yeah, and I noticed they completely skipped Partners in Time. I don't blame them. That one sucked. That was not a good Mario Luigi game.
People were hoping a remake of Partners in Time to fix the problems the original had.
You can't fix the problems because the problems with that game are innately the fact that you have Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. Like they are the problem. You'd have to completely take them out of the game.
No, I think it would be the battle mechanic of having your special item usage.
Well, yeah, and Baby Mario and Baby Luigi. It's like the very core mechanic of the game. You like if they took out the things that made Partners in Time suck, you would destroy the core mechanics of the game. So it wouldn't be worth the upgrade. So I'm glad they skipped it because that wasn't a very good Mario and Luigi, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. But your guys'
You
thoughts
say the
on
babies, I say the mechanics.
I think they were both pretty shitty.
I just find it bizarre that they're doing a remake of Bowser's Inside Story right now because the game is not that old. Like,
no, it isn't. It came out towards the end of the DS's life cycle, which, I mean, like when it came out, the 3DS I think was either about to come out or had already come out, but it just hadn't really taken off yet. So
it was about
it's like, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's old. It's old, but it's not that old. It's like a little over 7 years old. Which
you can still play the original on your 3DS.
Yeah, which I've done. Like because I keep all my previous consoles, and I've played Bowser's Inside Story. I mean, I'm glad they upgraded it.
I own those.
Yeah, I own it too. I'm just, I mean, personally, I mean, Bowser's Inside Story is not my favorite of the Mario Luigi games. I still have to give it up to Partners to Dream Team.
I was gonna have said it.
What?
I was gonna have a good laugh if you screwed up that one fully.
No, but I mean, because just mechanically, Dream Team is still really good. It's still really well made.
Paper Jam.
Paper Jam was a little too easy. And
a lot of Luigi fans will tell you that the original is always the best, and that
the original is a little too short. It can be beaten in like about 8 hours. And
a weekend?
No, 8 hours. Especially if you know where everything is, it can be beaten in like 8 hours.
I was saying that because you don't know. Because if somebody's just trying to.
No, if you're just dicking around, yeah, a weekend. But if you know what you're doing, it's a very short gameplay experience, which is not cool for an RPG.
Ah.
But
But yeah, the Bowser's Inside Story remake, I would consider skipping since I
yeah,
already have the original.
well, I'm not interested because it has Bowser Jr. in it, and I hate Bowser Jr. So and plus when I have the original game and it has Bowser Jr. in it, like some people think, well, that's going to add value to the game. I'm like, no, that just made it worse.
I'm
yes.
sorry, but you have to be lying there, because
No, I don't like Bowser Jr. I've never
Bowser
liked Bowser Jr.
You can't invade Bowser. I mean, you're invading Bowser Jr. 2 times over now.
No, I've never liked Bowser Jr. Okay, everyone has certain characters that they like and dislike in certain franchises. Like for Legend of Zelda, some people don't like Tingle. I find him weird, but like charmingly weird, not like, oh my god, I'm offended weird.
Here's the thing. I'm able to accept the characters that can bad, and if anything, the one character I think that is unnecessary in a sense is the purple.
Waluigi?
Yep.
Yeah, like I don't like Waluigi. I don't like Bowser Jr. I don't like the character. I liked Bowser when he had his 6 Koopa kids. I don't really give a fuck about Bowser Jr. I'm sorry. I give zero shits about Bowser Jr. Don't care. I know some people love him, but I just fuck that little bastard. Sorry. I know some people might get upset. How dare you not like Bowser Jr.? Don't give a shit. Then we
see you about that one.
Different people have different characters they like and dislike. I mean, some people don't like don't like Kamek.
And some people really despise Daisy.
Yeah, some people don't like Daisy. Hell, I know people who don't like Princess Toadstool, aka Peach. So I mean, everyone has their favorite characters.
I can only imagine how much soul is in the wound when they what new characters are in the Switch version of Super Mario.
Toadette, yeah. I remember a kid when I was a little kid who hated Mario but liked playing as Luigi. So I mean, everyone is gonna have their own things. Me personally, like I said, I fucking hate Bowser Jr. I find him to be offensive. So like, I'm not getting this game. Not to mention, I already have the original, so I'm okay with that. So with that being said, I guess we can move on to the next one, which is to the next. Damn, left the page.
Well, there is a few more 3DS titles.
Yeah, we're still getting through it. The next one's coming up. Luigi's Mansion.
Followed by the announcement of Luigi.
We're going by the order of its 3DS, so we're not getting to the other stuff yet. Luigi's Mansion. Coming to the 3DS. If I didn't already have this game on the GameCube with better resolution, yeah, I'd probably be like, this is awesome. But I mean, I already have the original, and I still have my GameCube. So actually, I have 2 GameCubes, and the one that I played that I recently got modded to basically be HD. It's compatible with an HD TV instead of AV out and composite. So I'm good. I don't need this game.
Well, for me,
Not sure.
But if you never had Luigi's Mansion, go for it. Knock yourself out. It has co-op. Everything else is there.
And just one minor nitpick. The player 2 should have been a red Luigi, so the joke would have been go full circle.
Or a Ghost Mario. That would have been even better. Like disembodied Ghost Mario.
Like Mario, green Mario, Luigi, red Luigi.
I don't know. Something like that.
Like poetry, it has to rhyme.
I mean, I think it would have been more of like a clever little in-joke, but whatever. The next thing is Yokai Watch Blasters is getting some upgrades. Yokai Watch Blasters is basically like a Yokai Watch parody of Ghostbusters, but it doesn't have turn-based combat like the rest of the games. It's got like real time. Your yokai are just beating the shit out of other yokai. I guess it's cool. I haven't played it. It looks interesting.
Pretty sure it's a spin-off rather than a mainline title.
Well, it could be a spinoff, could be a main. It could be a spinoff, could be a game where they kind of went in a different direction. I don't really care. I'm not getting it. But for those of you who are into Yokai Watch and you like Ghostbusters, there you go. Because that's basically what it's a parody of.
And it's good, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be better than the 2016 reboot.
Yeah, but let's be fair. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've thrown things in the trash that were better than the 2016 reboot of Ghostbusters. So that's not really a glowing endorsement now, is it? So
that
next,
was funny though.
So next we move on to Luigi's Mansion, to the Nintendo Direct parts of the Switch It part of the Nintendo Direct. And here's where we get into some very interesting information. Luigi's Mansion 3.
Coming to 2019.
Yeah.
Next year.
It's coming next year.
Gotta wait for details, but that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And I would want to see it come out for the following joke.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Luigi's Mansion was never that big of a game on the GameCube because people were pissed that it wasn't a Mario game. And when we finally got a Mario game, it was Sunshine.
I remember that still.
I mean,
that was the best troll of all.
I mean, I'm going to keep it real. Mario Sunshine is like the weakest 3D Mario game. It's not very good. Or at least, actually, I take that back. It's not that it isn't very good. It's just not as good as other 3D Mario games. And that camera sucks. And that camera sucks. That camera.
Iffy.
Well, the enemy, your greatest enemy in Mario Sunshine isn't Bowser or Bowser Jr. or, you know, the evil Mario that's actually Bowser Jr. in disguise, or the piranha plants, or the giant bloopers. It's that damn camera.
I was trying to be nice about the camera.
I
was trying to be nice about the camera because if any, the camera controls have evolved. They've
gotten better. But here's the problem with Mario Sunshine is that the camera in Sunshine is worse than the camera in 64.
There's also the physics in Mario Sunshine, especially in the pachinko machine level.
Well, the physics in the 3D Mario game are always going to be kind of iffy. They're going to be hit or miss. But I mean, like the thing is that the camera kind of like, okay, there are jumps in Mario Sunshine that you could make if the camera was better. It's not because you're not skilled enough to make the jump. It's because the camera is just so shitty that you're going to fall to your death. Or you're going to miss the jump that you need to make in order to do. And in a platformer, that's inexcusable. Like if you have a shitty camera in like an RPG, it doesn't matter because like you're not like your reflexes aren't going to be important for whether or not you get through a certain area. But if you're playing a platformer, that's all reflexes. You need to see what you're doing. And that's where Mario Sunshine kind of falls apart. Like I said, Mario Sunshine.
That's bad.
What?
I was saying, even with flood.
Well, that's why the flood is there. Like they knew the camera was bringing it down. That's why they gave you the flood jet attachment and the hover thing, because they knew it's like, okay, this is going to make up for the fact that this camera's shit, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
And it's absolutely clear when you have flood get hijacked from you.
Yeah,
and there's also people not liking the story in Sunshine.
Well, I mean, the story's interesting. It expands the Mario universe and gives you something slightly different than what you'd normally see. It introduces Bowser Jr. It introduces Bowser Jr., who I fucking hate in the first place. So, like, I'm not really enthused with that. although I have to say the level design is very unique. It brings a lot of 2D concept into the 3D space, which is cool. What brings it down is the camera and the over-reliance on FLUDD, which kind of brings it down a little bit. But I mean, you know, we were talking about Luigi's Mansion. I mean, I'm glad. I hope the game comes out. I hope the people that really like Luigi's Mansion. I am not like the biggest Luigi's Mansion fan. I got the first one just because I found it cheap for like $10 at GameStop one day. Or it wasn't a GameStop. It was a KB or EB. No, it was an EB. And, you know, I got it. It's a fun game. Not like I'm not enthralled with it or anything, but I mean, I can see why people like it. Splatoon 2 version is getting an upgrade with a whole bunch of new content and stuff. So, your guys' thoughts on that?
I'm good in some of that, though. If anything, I'm kind of grown. That just came just in time for Splatfest of classic
Retro
versus
modern. And
Thank
boy,
you.
This debate is gonna be a real doozy, because if you're gonna join Team Retro, you're prepared to be accused of being called a hipster. Or if you join Team Modern, be prepared to be called everything that is wrong with modern gaming in general.
I think you're projecting a little bit too much, personally speaking.
I spent too much time on the internet to know where this is going.
I think you're projecting a little bit too much, but that's neither here nor there. So the Splatoon update, I mean, I guess that's going to be cool for people who play a lot of Splatoon. I haven't played Splatoon 2 in months, so like for most of the year. So for me, it's not really that big of a deal. But for those of you who have Splatoon 2 and are really into it, this is cool, I guess. Let's see, what else? What other content we have? Oh, the Mega Man 11 comes out October the 2nd, so literally 2 weeks from now, almost. A little over 2 weeks from now. I guess that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And next month we're supposed to get the final stage will be included to Splatoon 2.
The final stage of added to Splatoon. Well, we went from Splatoon 2 to Mega Man 11.
Oh, okay.
But
well, Mega Man 11. Curious of, I actually like the idea of the gear system.
Yeah, it adds something new to the standard formula.
Though makes me wonder power-ups.
I'm thinking maybe in the game you might be able to buy stuff to like modify how the gears, the overgear and stuff like that works. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since we had a Mega Man game, and I think this one will do well because it's on the Switch, it's on the PC, it's on the PS4, the Xbox One, it's on almost everything except the 3DS. Although if Capcom's smart, they'll find a way to put that shit on the 3DS too. Then they'll make tons of money.
Make back what they lost with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
No, they're never going to make that back. But I'm being facetious. They might. I don't know. But talk about Mega Man 11 for a bit. I got to go take care of something real quick.
So, well, if anything, I'm going to at least ask a good question here.
Yeah.
What the Mega Man series overall, and how you think it's evolving?
Can you repeat that, because you are breaking up a bit?
I hate when that happens. What do you think of the Mega Man series and how it did?
Well, let's see. So far, I played the first 3 Mega Man games, Mega Man 9, and a bit of 10. So I've only played about half of the Mega Man games, and so far, they've been pretty fun despite their difficult, despite how difficult they can be at times. Especially the first game with the Yellow Devil. Unless you do the pause trick.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think they'll have that. But I mean, look, listen. I'm just glad to see Mega Man brought back. He's one of the iconic video game characters, and I'm just glad to have him back.
Need to know.
And also,
right?
And just recently, Capcom there's a recent news regards to the Mega Man 11 from Capcom saying that this game will be beginner/casual friendly.
Fair enough. I mean, to be fair, the Mega Man games have been getting easier over time. From the first two games, especially like the Rockman base, they have been getting easier. Because remember, in the first three games, you didn't have the charge shot, and then later on they added the rush armor and upgrades and all that other shit. So they've been getting easier over time. So not really surprising. And I'm guessing there'll be a hard mode, like a normal mode, that's for people who are used to that level of gameplay, skill levels, stuff like that. So next we have the Mario Tennis Aces getting some new content.
And I'm completely surprised that PD Piranha, who was a boss, who we thought was deconfirmed to being a boss in that game, is now a playable character.
It's cool. I mean, I don't really care, but I mean, if you have the game, you get some new content. I guess that's cool. Here's something that made me.
And they're bringing back the ring challenge from the first two games.
Whatever. Here's something that made me kind of happy. This is some news from Capcom. The Capcom beat 'em up bundle is coming out. You're getting Final Fight, The King of Dragons, Captain Commando, Knights of the Round, Warriors of Fate, Armored Warriors, and Battle Circuit. I'm only familiar with 3 of these games, but you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You get 7 games.
I could see you having a retro boner for this one.
Well, you guys know I'm a beat 'em up fanboy, and I believe on another podcast I said
boner because all these are arcade games.
Yeah, well, I remember on a previous podcast I said if Capcom were smart, they would take some of their old beat 'em ups and put them in a bundle and sell them for like $20 or $30 with some extra bennies, and that's how they could get themselves back on track. I'll be goddamn, that's what they did.
Well, you were expecting them to sell one for $20, and this is a bundle for $20.
No, I said if they do like a major up-res of the original thing, of the they did like a Final Fight collection or whatever, that'd be cool. But then I said, or hell, they could just take like some of their old arcade beat 'em ups, put them in a bundle, sell them for $20 or $30. I'd buy it. And that's what they did. So, and I'm gonna buy it.
Okay.
I mean, I probably won't be playing it online because I'm not paying for Nintendo's online, but there you go, folks. You get all this cool shit. You get Final Fight, you get the King of the Dragons, you get Captain Commando, you get Knights of the Round. I know 4 of these.
I was going to
Warriors
say,
of Fate, Armored Warriors, and Battle Circuit.
Will you at least post your high scores?
Probably not. I play beat 'em ups not for high scores, but just to beat the shit out of walking down the street, beat the shit out of random people, knock over a garbage can and find sweet pizza, hamburgers in the garbage can and eat that to restore health, and then beat the shit out of more people. But I'm glad Capcom's bringing these games, back.
Yeah. I said that because, well, arcades are usually about high school,
Well, I mean, if I actually someone who runs, barcades and owns barcades, you're right. The arcades are like that, but I'm playing these on a home console, or if I get it on PC, I'll be playing it on PC. I'm not really going to give a shit about high scores at that point. So
it also has online co-op
That is right. That's why I'm kind of like, do I really want to get it on the Switch where I'm gonna have to pay for the online in order to use it? I don't know.
You can still. I think you can still play it locally.
I'll flip a coin. Yeah, but I'm not inviting people to my house just to play an arcade game. Uh, so moving on from there, they're bringing over New Super Mario Brothers U.
And
which brings some interesting ideas of toad growth.
And as well as further confusion to the Mario lore and giving Mario fans and game theorists a major headache.
There's no Mario lore. It's all shit that's been pulled out of Miyamoto's ass. There is no confirmed canonical Mario lore.
I was saying I was just saying that it gives some weird thoughts of how some grow.
It's just weird.
As if you think about it.
I mean,
every franchise has lore, even the comic strips.
Not really. No.
I don't take this seriously, but it makes me think. What are they on?
Yeah, but they're on mushrooms. No, I mean, like you can't consider Mario stuff to be lore, because if you consider all the different shit that's come out for the Mario games to be lore, then it would make no sense, because it contradicts itself.
And Bowser keeps on coming back.
All of it contradicts itself. It's just a video game. It's not supposed to be taken canonically. This shit isn't like Star Trek, where there's like a set timeline that the way shit has to go. Or a lot of Marvel stuff where there's a set timeline the way
if it took itself a bit more seriously, like Legend of Zelda, then
even Legend of Zelda has contradictions in its own timeline. So
I was gonna say, if Mario's lore tellers could take it as seriously as Legend, then you might have something.
And then that's why I said even Legend of Zelda has contradictions in its own timeline. So
the lack of concrete lore is the reason why we have these game theories trying to fill them all up.
And it's just not worth it. It's not worth bashing your head against the wall trying to figure out if shit fits. So, I mean, just enjoy it for the ride. A female Toad gets a crown, turns into Toadette. Okay, cool, whatever. That's all.
Like, it raises questions about Peach's origin. Is she human at all, or is she half, or not human at all?
Well, they never said she was human. She's the princess of the Mushroom Kingdom, and like everyone else around there is like mushroom people. So obviously, she also must be a mushroom person. Although, from what we've seen, apparently, if they get powered up, they turn into humanoid-looking mushroom people. Which, whatever. I mean,
that brings up a question. And this is because of Super Mario Bros. 2.
All right.
If Peach is a power, then how the Hades does Peach not shrink into a toad?
Because Toad's a dude. Princess Peach, like the power up isn't like it's not a power up like where you lose it and it's gone and you revert back into being a little person. It's like she's permanently transformed into,
Or do the toads follow a hive mind ecology where only the females become queen or princess and gain a humanoid form?
Well, here's where the canon thing is bullshit, because if you watch the very first the manga, the Japan only manga that was officially sanctioned by Nintendo, it's supposed to be canonical, you see Princess Peach's father and he looks like a normal person. He doesn't look like the rest of the Toads. So, I mean, who knows? Personally speaking, I'm not going to think that deeply on it because it's just a damn video game.
Yeah, I mean context, because I was at least wondering because I remember how the power-up system works.
Now, my thoughts are, I mean, am I going to get this game? Fuck no.
Maybe.
because I already have the Wii U version, and I'm not buying it again. Especially, I know that Nintendo's probably going to charge fucking $60 for the game, like they did with
the thing is, I
Mario
haven't
Kart
gotten
and stuff like that.
It's under my consideration list, like Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn.
I'm not doing it. Like I said, I already have the original game, Mark, and I even got the DLC for it. That was like, well, actually, when I got it, I got the DLC for free, but still, I spent like $50 on that game when it came out, and I'm not buying it again with some extra bennies. So, but that's just me because I'm a cheap bastard. But you know, you guys do what you want, especially if you never had the original. Any thoughts before we move on to the next game?
I already have my saying.
Jewel?
I'm with this, but I'm just waiting to see how it turns out. But it's a neat game that I might go for since I didn't get the Bros. U.
All right.
I got the Super Mario Bros. Wii, but not the U.
I got all of them, but I'm a Mario fan, so I had to get those two games because I'm like, okay, I got New Super Mario Brothers, New Super Mario Brothers 2, New Super Mario Brothers Wii, and now New Super Mario Brothers U. But I'll be damned unless they come out with a new game for the Switch that's a New Super Mario Brothers Switch, then I'm not getting another one. I'm not getting a re-release. That's just me. Unless they want to do something where they like for $60 you get all the new Super Mario Brothers games HDified for like $60 with all the little extra shit. And that'd be cool, but I'm not getting this. Next little bit of information: Katamari Damacy reroll.
I love that game, though I never tend to finish it for years.
Yeah,
because I was stuck at one level.
This game, I love Katamari Damacy because it basically, people say people in Japan don't smoke weed. I'm like, well, go play Katamari Damacy and somebody's smoking something because people on air don't come up with shit like that.
You have to be on some heavy stuff for Katamari Damacy to exist.
I don't know what it is, but it's some good shit. That's all I gotta say.
But still, that is some funny stuff watching.
Yeah, I like Katamari Damacy. I have one on the GameCube. I know there were some that came to the PlayStation 3, but I didn't get those because, like, I like the one on the GameCube because the GameCube controller was like perfect for playing that game, like Monkey Ball, Super Monkey Ball. But I mean, it'll probably be good. Next, we have they announced some Switch NES controllers that they're Joy-Cons that look like NES controllers.
Those are going to be confusing because how can you tell left or right?
Well, there's been confirmation about these controllers that they only work for the NES games from the online service.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll patch in others. Like you'll probably be able to use those because they're all Bluetooth. You'll probably be able to use them for other shit too on the system as well in the future. But I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna get those at launch because you know what's gonna happen. They're gonna come out. And some people are gonna and there's probably gonna be a price drop in about 6 months to like summer next year, and then you can get them cheap, or at least cheaper than they are now. So if I get a pair, it's not gonna be like immediately. Okay, so we have Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Yeah.
There's more information about it.
And just like the last game, no more HMs, but they're replaced by secret techniques by Pikachu and Eevee.
Yeah.
In the form of things like flying Pikachu, surfing Pikachu.
Yeah, if there isn't a unit of measurement that can tell you how few fucks I give about these two games.
The It makes me wish that could have.
0000001.
Makes me wish that Smash could have been delayed, could have waited for another year so they could implement Pikachu's techniques from that game onto his moveset.
It doesn't matter because if I was playing Smash, I'd probably kick someone's ass who was using those moves anyway. Because Pikachu sucks. He's always sucked.
Not really. He's actually one of the top tier characters in Smash.
Okay, fine then. In Smash, he may be top tier, but in Pokemon, he's shitty.
Right.
Just not a very good. Eevee's a more versatile Pokemon than Pikachu is. Just because of all the different moves you can teach a Eevee before it evolves into its elemental forms and shit that can give it an edge in later fights. Like double kick. That's actually kind of useful. And then we've got.
Okay, continue.
And then we've got Diablo 3 Eternal Collection, which is all the DLC plus. There's a Ganondorf armor set, which is cool.
Somebody might be smiling from that.
I mean, if I didn't already have Diablo 3, I'd be kind of impressed, but I already have the game, so on PC, so where it can be modded and, you know, more features and stuff like that. But, I mean, hell, that's what you want. That's what you want. Any thoughts on Diablo 3 before we move on to the next one?
Nothing much.
Okay.
Sorry.
Super Mario Party.
That one's a definite buy for me.
Ding.
It looks interesting.
I know you're not. I know you're gonna pass on it because you're not a party fan.
No, I'm a party fan. I'm not like really into Super Mario Party, but whatever.
Yeah, and if anything, after the nasty taste of 9 and 10, I'm going to be glad to get back into party.
I'm gonna wait until some reviews come out and I see gameplay before I really get on the Mario Party bandwagon again. But even this probably won't turn me.
Considering that they got rid of the buddy system, that for me.
Okay. Your thoughts, Pinky?
Well, the definite buy for me since I own pretty much every single Mario Party title.
I forgot you are a Mario Party connoisseur. Okay.
Well, except for the top 100. I haven't got that yet.
All right. Next we have Town. That's a tentative title. It's probably not going to be the final title. It's a new Game Freak RPG. It's coming out next year, allegedly.
Wait for details.
I mean, it's Game Freak, and here's the thing: most of the games that Game Freak makes that aren't Pokemon games don't do too well. So,
expect it to be a flop.
I mean, I'm not. Listen, I might get the game if it captures my interest.
So it's not. Yeah. So
I want it to be good, you know. But
I want to know what it stands for in a sense, but I'll wait.
No, the thing is, Game Freak makes good games aside from Pokemon. I mean, I love Drill Dozer. That's one of my favorite games. It's really fun. It's enjoyable. The puzzle aspect is really interesting. But the problem is that, like, Game Freak is so fucking synonymous with Pokemon that the other shit they do that isn't Pokemon, people just don't really get that into, which is sad because, like I said, they make good games. I'm not too crazy about Harmonite. I have it. I got it for free when they had like the one of those sales for not one of those when the Nintendo Club still had like actual fucking rewards, and I got Harmonite. And it's a good game, but I mean, you know. And I even got Timbo the Badass Elephant for PC. It's a pretty good little game. So it looks interesting. City Skylines is out now. It's basically a SimCity clone, except like old school SimCity, not the shit that EA does now. So cool. It's more in the vein of a Will Wright SimCity and not an EA SimCity. So I guess that's good. Your guys' thoughts on City Skylines? I mean, any SimCity fans here?
Not here.
None here.
Oh damn. Well, I have this game on PC, so I am a SimCity fan. So,
and after you probably are wanting to find that game.
Well, I already have it on PC, so I mean, you know, if I didn't have it on PC, I'd probably get it on Switch, but I have it on PC, so with PC, I can mod the shit out of it and add new things that were never in the original game. On Switch, I get nothing, so I get the game and that's it.
For experience. I said and that means nothing added.
There's some games where the pure experience is to be desired, and there are other games where it's like, no, I need modifications. It's like, here's a steak. There's no salt or pepper added to it. It's like, no, fuck that. I need seasonings on my steak. So in this case, for some games, I need seasoning.
I would put it more like a burger.
Same thing. Here's a burger. There's no salt or pepper on it. It's just we seared it in a pan and slapped it on a bun with the lettuce and tomato. That's cool, but I mean, I need some extra shit added to this. I can't just have it be, you know, this. I guess we should move on to the next game. There's a lot of news in here, so we're like barely half of the way through. Daemon X Machina. It's a game. It basically looks like a better version of
Gundam.
No, not Gundam. It was that game from Software that was on the PS1 and the PS2, and I guess kind of almost to the PS3, where you have these giant mechs and you fight like other giant mechs. Except in this game, you're in like it's more fast paced and looks cooler. It's basically kind of like what we wanted from Xenoblade Chronicles X in terms of multiplayer. So it looks interesting.
Yeah.
You can even team up with other people and fight giant bosses and shit, which is cool.
Hopefully they don't take about an hour to defeat, like in Monster Hunter.
Or Xenoblade Chronicles X. Some of those raids were a bitch. And then we get Yoshi's Crafted World, which looks really cool. I wish it was coming out this year. I'm looking forward to it. But
though some people wish it was called Yoshi's Flipping Island.
Yeah, but Nintendo's doesn't want to be. They don't want it to sound like they're cursing. Which in Europe, in the UK, flipping is a slang. It's a bastardized version of saying F, the F word. So you know.
Yeah, I understand.
But Yoshi's Crafted World sounds cool. It looks cool. I probably won't get this at launch, but I might get it later on.
This is the second time we see Yoshi riding on a Yoshi. The first time was at Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. It's a little weird. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not the biggest fan of the Yoshi games. The mechanics are too floaty for me. Platforming is not as tight as a traditional Mario game. But, I mean, this might turn it around for me. I don't know. Then we had Asmodee Digital Board Games is bringing a service where they're bringing all these digital games to the system. So, I mean, you're getting more.
Okay, I'm waiting to see which games come out before I even say that I might go for one.
Well, you're getting Lord of the Rings, the living card game. You're getting Pandemic. Catan and Munchkin are eventually coming. I hope they announce a D&D.
I want to try.
I hope they announce a D&D tabletop game because that'd be awesome.
If there's going to be a flood.
Well, that would be like a real coup, and that would get D&D back into people. People would get into it again. People who aren't really into it, like let people maybe add something that lets people make their own little campaigns with tile sets and stuff. That'd be cool.
Yeah, if they did that, there's going to be a flood of gamers trying to go for it.
Yeah, it could be. And then Sid Meier's Civilization 6, November 16th. I mean, I'll let you guys go first.
Oh, in regards to Civilization 6?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm kind of shocked that it's even coming to the Switch. Is this the first time it's ever coming to a console? Because
Civilization was on the SNES, I believe.
Because I was told that that the series was a PC only franchise.
No, I think
no, it wasn't, but it was real long time ago.
Yeah, it was like SNES. Like, there's been no modern system that's had a Civilization game. So no 5th gen, 6th gen, 7th gen system, 8th gen system, 9th gen system has had it. So, but I'm pretty sure there was there were Sid Meier strategy games on the SNES, or either the Sega Genesis, because Pirates Gold, which is the Pirates game where you're like doing stuff like that, was on the Sega Genesis. And that game is strategy, So Sid Meier games have been on and Settlers. I think the Settlers was on the SNES or the NES. I'm pretty sure there's been games like that on home console before. But it's been a very, 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 very long time. So I can understand why people will be like, it's never been on there, because most gamers. Yeah, most gamers aren't gonna remember way, way, way back in the day like that. But sorry, continue.
So I dipped my toes on real-time strategy games before with Age of Mythology, as well as a Star Wars game that was from that genre.
Empire at War.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good ones to get started on. I mean, the age games are kind of simple strategy where you just build a whole bunch of powerful units and send them out destroying things.
Yeah.
But Empire at War, Star Wars Empire at War is pretty good. It's pretty good, especially if you're a Star Wars fan. So I mean, if I didn't already have this game on PC, I'd probably be like, yeah, this is awesome. But since I already have this game, once again with mod support, not really anything to it. Next, Starlink Battle for Atlas.
That was something interesting.
Probably not gonna buy it because I'm still boycotting Ubisoft, even with the Star Fox content.
I mean, it looks cool, and if it didn't have that toy to life shit that I just hate, I'd probably get it. But it's got that toy to life shit, which I don't like. So, I don't feel like buying a whole bunch of extra shit. I should just be able to buy the game and play it, not have to buy all this other shit in order to do things with it. I don't like that. So
people complaining again about the toys to life stuff.
Well, I mean, when it comes to gaming, I'm kind of a dinosaur, because I think when you pay your $60 or whatever, you shouldn't have to get other shit in order to enjoy the full experience of the game. That's just.
Though, if anything, I'm trying to be hopeful that other thing.
I mean, it's kind of like Skylanders, where when you first played Skylanders and you get it and it comes with 2 characters, but they were never the 2 characters you needed to enjoy 100% of the game. You'd have to buy other figurines in order to get the whole experience, and that's real scummy. I'm sorry, and I don't like that business model. So I mean, I'm not, I mean, and this isn't something against Amiibo, because I know some people say, well, Amiibo are toys to life. Actually, they aren't. Amiibo are more like DLC that you can buy that works across multiple games. So it's not just DLC for one game. And that's actually kind of cool. But they aren't toys. Like Amiibo aren't toys. You can't. Like, there's not shit you can really do with an Amiibo unless you have a game that goes with it. Toys to life, like those Legos for Lego Worlds or whatever.
Lego Dimensions.
Lego Dimensions. You could build that shit. That was actually shit you could do with those, aside from just it being a toy. So I mean, it being like digital content that would unlock on a game. So those were actual toys. Even the Skylanders were originally supposed to be toys. Like kids could, like initially, you could take them off their little pedestals and play with them like little figurines. So they were toys. These Amiibo aren't toys. They're physical DLC, really. That's what they are. That can work on multiple games, which, like I said, kind of cool. But your thoughts on Starlink? I know some people are like, "Oh my God, it is the Star Fox game we deserve," or some shit like that, or whatever. But
which I call bull.
I mean, the fact that Ubisoft is connected to it, I just don't care. I mean, like here's the thing: everyone has the Star Fox game that they want in their head, and if Nintendo doesn't do what they want in their head, they're gonna get pissed. So it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So next we move on to The World Ends With You Final Remix. We talked about this earlier. I don't think we need to go over it again. Square Enix is re-releasing this game. They already released it again for the 3DS, if I remember correctly, and now they're releasing it again for the Switch with some extra content. So I guess that's cool. And of course, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna, The Golden Country. Am I the only one who, when I heard that title, thought, "Oh man, they stole that from The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past"? Because like they called the sacred land in that game the Golden Country. I'm like, wow. Okay, just me. All right. So okay, we have some other things that are coming out that they announced. I'm not going to go over all the release dates, but we have Warframe coming out this year, Just Dance 2019, FIFA 19, Team Sonic Racing. I'm actually looking forward to that one. NBA 2K19, NBA 2K Playgrounds, Lego DC Supervillains. There's only like 2 games on here that I'm looking forward to, and that's Team Sonic Racing and Lego DC Supervillains.
Even though Sonic Team Racing is more of a watered down Sega All Stars Racing.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But I like Sega All Stars Racing, so.
Is it weird that I actually want to see the idea of Sonic Riders get more developed like this?
No, it's not weird. And if you want to get mad at someone, get mad at Sega for making those. Like, they made like 3 Rider games, and 2 of them were terrible. So
I was gonna say,
get mad at Sega.
Is a disaster. The other, I'm not sure of.
Well, I should take that back. The first one sucked. The second one was better, but it still wasn't like great. And the third one was pretty good. But like the first 2 had tainted the brand so much that people were just like, no, So
the third one was what really broke the floor.
Well, like I said, the first one was like you could only use the Kinect to play it, and that one was shit. Then they did the second one where you could use the connector controller, but it wasn't very good. It was better than the first one, but it still wasn't like gangbusters. And then they did like the last one in the series where they said, okay, fuck the Kinect. We're just going to focus on using normal controls. And that was a good one. But I mean, the first two were so bad that it just fucked it up. No, the first one they did was with the Kinect, because it like when Microsoft launched the Kinect for the Xbox 360, they basically like the big thing was that was one of the launch games for the Kinect. They were going to show off the power of the Kinect with that game, and that was a launch, like that was the first writer's game, was like use the Kinect. It was shit because I mean the Kinect was not good for precise movements.
You may be contradicting with me here, because that is the GameCube one.
Yeah, but okay, whatever.
I'm just saying that it is the one that broke the floor.
I think I'm pretty sure that was the first one. There may have been a game like Riders on the GameCube, but I'm pretty sure the first official Riders game was the one on the Xbox 360 on the Kinect. Because I specifically remember when that game came out, because it was universally panned because of the you literally you couldn't use conventional controls, and the Kinect was shit. So people I'm pretty sure people have made YouTube videos about them playing that game and using the Kinect and it just not working.
I'm doing a quick check because you and I are a bit mixed here. Okay, I found Sonic Riders came out 2006.
Let's see, Sonic Riders. Here, I'm gonna look it up. Okay, Sonic Riders, 2006. Yeah, you're right. It was the PlayStation, the GameCube, the Xbox. Okay, the first one. Yeah, the first one came out and it was okay, I guess. I don't know. And then they made a sequel that was Zero Gravity. Yeah, it was Zero Gravity, and that was the one that had I think it used the Wiimote. So you're right. It was the third one, the one that was on the 360 and used the Kinect. Yeah. Okay. So it was the third one. Okay.
Yeah.
So right content, wrong order. The first game was pretty good. The second one, not quite as good. And the third one was the one that shat the bed.
Yeah.
So
I didn't get that one wrong because
it was my bad. It was my bad. I made that mistake. I own up to it. So basically, yeah, I mean, one good game, and then one that was not quite as good, and then one that was just like everyone needs to be Sega needs to apologize for that fucking game. Sonic Free Riders.
No.
But
I mean, they had to restart their racing series all over again because of that.
Yeah, shat the bed. But I mean, Sonic Adventure Racing was pretty good, and Racing Transformed was good too. So, I mean, I hope Team Sonic is good too, but it probably won't be because Sumo Digital is working on other shit, and their team might have been split up. Because Racing Transform was pretty good, and it had pretty good music and good track layouts and stuff like that. So I don't know if it's gonna be as good as that. Personally, I'm looking forward to Lego DC Supervillains just because I like the Lego games. But they have kind of they've been very up and down in terms of quality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Lego Batman 2 was good. Lego Avengers was good. Sorry, Lego Marvel Heroes was good. Then Lego Avengers sucked. Lego Star Wars Episode 6 or Episode 7 sucked. Lego Batman 3 wasn't very good either. Like it's very up and down quality with the Lego games these days. They're not like all, well, this one's going to be good, this one's going to be good. It's like, well, it may or may not be good, you know. I think the thing that hurts it is that WB has that shitty, like, why does a Lego game have a season pass and DLC? You know? I mean, that makes no sense, because like previous Lego games, like if you bought Star Wars: The Complete Saga for your PS2 or your GameCube, or, well, not the GameCube, like your PS2 or your Wii or Xbox 360 or whatever, you got everything. You know, you bought the game, you got everything. And even subsequent games, you bought the game, you got everything. Like, why the fuck are they nickel and diming people with a fucking Lego game? Whatever. But WB's like that. They're asshole game publishers. But here we got some big news after that. Basically, you're getting all of the quote unquote modern Final Fantasy games up to 12.
And 12 is confirmed to get a physical release.
Yeah, so you get Final Fantasy: The Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition, which, as someone who has Crystal Chronicles, they could have kept that game. They could have taken that game and shoved it up their ass. You get Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition. It's not a good game. Crystal Chronicles is not a good game. I'm sorry, it's not.
I blame it on the Game Boy Advance link.
No, it's not Final Fantasy. What it is it's basically a dungeon crawler, a four-party dungeon crawler where you're going around and dungeon fight enemies, but it's not Final Fantasy. Like, had they called it something else from Square Enix and not called it Final Fantasy, I don't think people would have been as mad. But the whole big marketing campaign leading up to that game was Final Fantasy returns to Nintendo consoles, and you get this shit, which isn't a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, that made me sour against Square Enix for a good.
You know?
It wasn't until Chocobo Mystery Dungeon that gave me some hope back.
It's like how Nintendo lied and said that Yoshi's Island was the sequel to Super Mario World, when they play nothing alike. Like, literally, they play nothing alike. Graphically, they look very, like, they have some similarities, but like the physics, mechanically, how you move around the world, is not the same.
Neither did Mario 1 and Mario 2 USA.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, that was when the genre was first beginning. You know, things were getting set, but you could see the DNA being set. You know, but once you set the tone, like once Super Mario Brothers 3 came out, you pretty much knew what 2D Mario games were going to be, and that formula has stayed the same until you get to Yoshi's Island, where they lied and said it's the sequel to Super Mario World. This shit's not the sequel. Why'd you lie like that? If they'd have just said it's Yoshi's Island, I'd be like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna get it because I don't really like the way this feels playing it. But I mean, don't lie to me and say it's Super Mario World 2. Don't get on my roof and pee on me and say it's raining.
You know, it wasn't called Super Mario World 2 in Japan.
So no, but the rest of because they didn't want to lie to their consumer base there. But the rest of the world, they're like, this is Super Mario World 2, because Super Mario World is like the highest selling first party game for the SNES, and they wanted to catch some of that fire instead of just admitting that the shit wasn't Super Mario World 2. You know, and I hate when people lie to me in marketing. That pisses me off. I don't like that. Because I can here's the thing. I'm a grown ass man. I can handle something not being like, I could handle Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles if they just called it something else instead of Final Fantasy, because it's not Final Fantasy. Okay, it's not Final Fantasy. Cool. I'm not gonna get it, but I mean, at least you were honest in marketing. But that's neither here nor there. We get World of Final Fantasy Maxima, which, I mean, if you care about that, there you go. You get another Chocobo Mystery Dungeon, which I guess is cool. If you really like the Mystery Dungeon games, good for you. I'm kind of like, meh. To me, they're meh. But some people really like them, so, you know, if you're looking forward to that.
It's quite neat, especially if the card game going on with that too.
it could have that. I don't know. Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. So, you know, you get this game on a Nintendo system after it's come to everything else, because that's what happened. It's on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo gets the sloppy, not even sloppy seconds, sloppy thirds, maybe in fourths. So there you go, folks. You get Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. I guess that's a good thing. I already have this game on PC, so I'm not really.
And the biggest news of them all, Final Fantasy 7 alongside with 9 and 10 and 10-2.
Yeah, they like literally they could take 10-2 off of there because I don't think anyone wants that shit. But Final Fantasy 7, you finally get the game that was meant to be on the N64. You get it on a Nintendo system. Isn't that cool? But here's the thing: it coming to the Switch is amazing when it could have been on the Wii U. You know, and it probably would have made more sense for them to announce
fudge. But
to announce Cloud and
late
Smash.
than never.
Yeah, to announce Cloud and Smash, that would have made more sense. But this is Square Enix, and they have an extra hole in their head. And I don't mean their ears, their nose, their eyes, or their mouth. So
I think I could hear some people asking, "Where's 8?"
Well, I mean, 8 sucks. So
7,
I mean,
8.
And also because they have the PC version has yet to get a remastered HD remastered version of 8, which might be the reason why.
Yeah, and that would require money and time, and Square Enix is kind of hard up for both. So, and to be fair, Final Fantasy 8 sucks. So, I mean, come on. Like Final Fantasy 7's not that good.
The only thing that I liked about Final Fantasy 8 would be
the card system.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not even gonna go that far. Final Fantasy VIII has a broken ass combat system where basically, if you know what you're doing, in the first, you can basically extract enough materia in the beginning of the game if you know what you're doing. Not leveling up, just extract materia to basically just destroy everything for the first 2/3 of the game. If you do a run for like a weekend, stay in the first area and just farm the shit out of materia. And that's broken as fuck. Like Final Fantasy VIII, I would have to say is probably Hironobu Sakaguchi's sloppiest Final Fantasy he made.
Yeah, I mean, a better magic system than 8.
I mean, it's pretty broken. Plus the story sucks. Final Fantasy VII's story is basically a shittier version of Final Fantasy VI's, with less interesting characters. Basically, that's. You know,
I bet, but if anything, at least it has a lot more story than Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, but that's not hard to do because 8 is it's not very good.
Plus, it's a return to the medieval age.
What?
Plus, it's a return to the medieval age compared to the more modern setting in 7 and 8.
7's like a ruined world, and 8 is basically another ruined world. Like basically, they feel like a part, like they're in the same, you know what I mean? Same universe almost, with the ruined future and everything's gone to shit. I'm like, whatever. And then you get Final Fantasy X, which I mean, if you can get past Titus, who is perhaps the shittiest protagonist ever in an RPG, I'm not just saying Final Fantasy, I mean RPGs in general, is actually a solid RPG. And then 10-2, which is, I think, I call it Hironobu Sakaguchi, fuck you to Square Enix. Like, that's the last game he made for them, and he was like, fuck you guys. That was his fuck you game. And it feels like it, too. and then you get Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Nintendo Switch bundle for $369, where they're repackaging a GameCube controller and that same connector you fucking have if you bought the Ultimate Edition for the Wii U. So if you have the Wii U version of this game and it came with the GameCube controller and the connector, you're set. You do not need this. Just buy the game and use your GameCube controller from your Wii U version. You'll be fine.
How many of those adapters there are?
They also have a dock that shows off the original 8 fighters.
Yeah, whatever. Then you get Super Smash Brothers Ultimate is bringing Isabelle in. She's not a shadow character; she's a new character, which is cool, I guess. I don't know.
I was gonna say Echo Fighter.
Yeah, she's not an Echo fighter. She's a new character, which is cool.
And a lot of hardcore Smash fans are ticked off about her inclusion because one, she's not an Echo fighter, thus she wait, and two, she's not Geno, Skull Kid, or Isaac.
Well, who cares? I mean,
I gave it
because here there's this well-known leaker named Lowe's18 who says that the direct will show Skull Kid as the next Smash Brothers character reveal. And when it turns out that it was Isabelle instead, he deleted his own Twitter account.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? It's like the dude was leaking, and here's the thing, like Sakurai likes to troll people. Nintendo has done. There's been leaks of shit. Like there were characters who were supposed to be in Smash 4 that didn't make it. Even though leakers were like, yeah, this character's gonna be there. So I mean, you can't, shit changes.
If anything, I got then. I had WTF with Ridley, a really with role, and I'm jolly as a giant with Isabelle.
Yeah, I mean, frankly speaking, I don't really care either way. Because here's the thing: they're gonna have a huge roster. Use the characters you like. Don't use the characters you don't like. That's it. Or, just get good enough with the other characters that you can be effective in a fight, and then have your mains that you really excel at using. So, and every character is everyone's gonna use the character they want to use. So, I mean, that's how it's gonna be at the end of the day. And if you don't like it, too fucking bad. And the big announcement at the very end, they saved to the very end, is that they're doing another Animal Crossing for the Switch. They really want this system to succeed. They also showed some more information about Nintendo's Online, which we're kind of we got a little bit to go. I would talk about the Online, but I think it would probably be better that we just save it for a future podcast where we can go in depth on it, because it'll be coming online next week
on Tuesday.
Yeah, so we can have more of a, people who have a hands-on with it, because it's a week free. So I guess everyone gets a chance to test it out. So, I'm not going to talk about it. Let's get to some of these questions and then wrap things up, okay?
Well, what's the first one?
Okay, I think I accidentally closed the page that had my questions, but don't worry. There's only 5 of them, so it's not going to be ultra in-depth. Okay, so with the return of Square Enix RPGs to Nintendo's home systems, what other long-absent publishers / developers would you like to see bringing their games back to Nintendo platforms? What games / genres?
For me, I want Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
So Konami.
Yeah.
Okay, Jewel?
For me, it's more of a genre, and I would say card games in a sense. But you got one, because seriously, if I think about it, the last time I saw a card game going on to a main console would be the Xbox, and we all know where that goes.
Yeah, especially if it's a Japanese game. Let's see, what other publisher would I like to see put their games on the Switch, seeing that Square Enix got the Sony dick from out of their ass? I'm gonna go with Hudson Soft. Not Hudson. Yeah. No, because Hudson Soft sold their shit to Konami, and I don't want to, because we already said Konami. I'm gonna go with Tecmo Koei. I know they put a few games on the Switch, but they haven't put some of their old stuff. Like, I want to see Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3, maybe the trilogy on the system, maybe those old Ninja Gaidens from back in the day. Like, I'm not hugely into those games, but that would add more depth to Nintendo's platform. So I think that'd be cool.
What about the DOA games?
Dead or Alive.
I'm not really that into Dead or Alive, but maybe Namco Bandai with Soul Calibur. Like maybe do a Soul Calibur collection with Soul Calibur 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4 because 5 and 6 suck. Or well, 5 sucked. Just do 1 through 4. And just keep the Nintendo characters on there. So I can play as Link.
Oh, what about the Devil May Cry series, or at least 1 through 3?
That's Capcom. Capcom's been pretty good about putting stuff on the system, but I mean, if they want to do Beautiful Joe, I'd be happier because
That I could agree on.
Because we haven't seen any love from Joe in a while. Plus, aren't they doing a remaster of DMC anyway?
Oh,
all they need.
DMC 4.
I mean, no, didn't they do a remaster of the Devil May Cry games like 1, 2, 3, and 4, or 1, 2, and 3? Like, haven't they already like done a remaster of those 3 games where they HDified them? Whatever. Seeing that Square Enix is putting these classical games, I'm using air quotes here, on the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox One parentheses, what speculations can be made on the Sony Square relationship?
So finally let go of Square Enix, and they're finally breathing. How long are they going to last with just air instead of Sony fumes?
Fair enough. Pinky?
Could you repeat the question?
Seeing that Square Enix is putting these classical games on the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox One, what speculations can be made on the Sony Square relationship?
Oh, from what I can tell, that one's. From what I can tell, that means the contract, that the supposed theorized contract that the Final Fantasy titles can only appear on Sony's consoles may have expired. So now Square is able to release those games onto other platforms, including Nintendo.
Yeah. Okay. Jewel, you were going to say something before you got cut off?
I was saying that I put my words lightly because you're the one that usually does the vulgar shots.
Well, it's about to get vulgar. Square. Well, seeing that the Sony Square relationship, I think that that Square somehow managed to extricate Sony's
behind
Johnson from out of their rear. A smart move, especially when you consider that since they've basically the only console gen where their relationship with Sony actually helped them was the 5th gen and half of the 6th gen. Like when the 7th gen rolled around and the 8th gen, it's just basically been downhill. Their little special relationship with Sony. So basically, I mean, it's a shame they had to lose billions of dollars to figure out that getting in bed with Sony is not good, but maybe they can start to get their shit together and start putting their games on multiple consoles, or at least the console where they have an audience for their games, like Nintendo systems, like it used to be back in the day, and PC. Maybe they'll figure their shit out. Knock on wood. Next question. With the announcement of Capcom bringing together a quote-unquote greatest hits of arcade beat-em-up games, what other developers / publishers would you like to see emulate this?
I would like to see Konami doing a Castlevania collection.
All right, Jewel?
Sparkster series collection, please.
So both of you are like Konami. Well, Sparkster would be like 3 games. Well, 4 if you include that shitty 8th gen one. And Castlevania, that's a lot of games. I mean, you're looking at like the original Castlevania on the
So maybe the Castlevania collection, considering from the classic NES games all the way up to the PS1 titles, excluding the N64 ones, of course.
Now they got to include those too, even though they're kind of shitty. Well, the first one's kind of shitty. The second one's not that bad.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4, Rondo of Blood, Symphony of the Night, and maybe Bloodlines from the Genesis.
No, they include Bloodlines, and maybe should they include the handheld ones like Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, Aria of Sorrow, Dawn of Sorrow?
Well, I use the PS1 as a cutoff.
So the Game Boy Advance ones, up to the Game Boy Advance ones, because that was the PS1 era too. So Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance. Okay, that'd be cool. Maybe Aria of Sorrow, because that was a Game Boy Advance game too. All right. Since both of you guys did Konami, I'm gonna, even though I wanted to do a Konami Greatest Hits 2, but I won't. Well, shit. No, this is Konami as well. Well, fuck it. I'll go with it. No. I'll go with the R-Type people. I want an R-Type collection. I want a collection of all the R-Type games. R-Type 1, R-Type 2, Super R-Type, R-Type 3, R-Type Delta, R-Type Dimensions. I want all the R-Type games in one thing on the system.
And maybe Square can also port Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8 onto the Switch.
I mean, whatever. We have some comments from the chat. Hello everyone. Hello the lazy one. Sorry we just got to you guys. He says people are bitching about Isabelle and Smash. That is correct. They are bitching about Isabelle and Smash. Trinell83 says I would like to see Nintendo revive Golden Sun and Namco beating Katos. Yeah, I would like to see Nintendo revive Golden Sun, and I would like Namco. Well, actually, really, I mean, Namco Bandai, if they bring back Baten Kaitos, just do Baten Kaitos 1. Don't do Origins, because Origins sucked.
Oh, I just remember. Maybe they could do a Xeno Saga collection.
Yeah, the lazy one says Saga would be up there with the beat 'em up, so I guess Xeno Saga. But there is a Xeno Saga collection. It's on the DS. You get all 3 games on one small little cartridge, which is amazing considering that game. If you got all 3 versions, if you got all 3 installments of those games, they were like, you were looking at like 9 discs on one cartridge. It's amazing. And Trinell83 says Breath of Fire collection from Capcom. I'm down with that, except I don't want Breath of Fire 5 in there because Breath of Fire 5 sucks. Breath of Fire 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 can go fuck itself. The lazy one says Rival Schools, and the lazy one says the first 4 original Dot Hack games. Okay, I'll go with it.
Rival Schools I love.
What about a Darkstalkers collection?
Yeah, I'd be cool with that too. That's like 6, 7 games, you know. Let's see what else. We have another question here. Let me find it. Question number 4. Seeing the current trend in bringing back retro games, what retro franchise needs a facelift?
Probably Mock Rider.
Well, I mean, when I say a retro game that needs a facelift, I mean a retro game that is still somewhat relevant, but just kind of needs to be, you know, updated a little bit. Like Mock Rider came out in the 3rd gen, and no one's talked about it since. So.
Oh, okay. So maybe Glover or Croc.
I would say Gex.
This is ways that you want to see a remix on.
You have to remind us of Gex.
Gex is the 3D game. Well, I mean, it originally was a 3D game, but it didn't do that well, and then they ported
Gex
it to
is a side scroller, but it went into the. I was going to say Gex 3DO game, that was a side scroller, but then evolved into a 3D game.
Yeah, like Mario
series.
64, except he had like a personality. And the big thing was that Gex was the secret agent who gained the ability to jump into TVs and go into the television world. So like,
but the Gex is pretty much Bubsy the Bobcat if he was a Scaly.
Yeah, but actually a good game. Like, because Gex was actually a good game. The hit detection wasn't great, but I mean,
it's a leap up. I just realized you said he was a secret agent. That's a leap up from being military lizard that did nude funker size.
no,
And I'm not kidding.
In the N64 in the games, he's an anthropomorphic gecko that gets zapped into TVs, and like when he goes into the TV, depending on what channel the TV's on, he goes into a world based on that channel. So
that's the
if
thing.
He's like watching a horror show.
Gex from way back.
Yeah, so if he's watching a horror show, it's basically like a horror theme level. If he's watching a chapsaki action kung fu film, it's like a kung fu like thing.
And he went through 4 worlds in the first game that he was in, which was just the cartoons, the Chinese films, and the adventures.
Yeah, and I think that that could be brought back, except it wouldn't be TV anymore. It'd be like the internet. Like, so he's like going through different parts of the internet. I think that could be a really interesting gameplay mechanic. Maybe Gex, or maybe I don't know. See, what's another old school RP? Tecmo Bowl. Because like a lot of people hate Madden and they prefer Tecmo Bowl. So why not bring Tecmo Bowl to the next generation? You know.
What about Contra?
Yeah, Contra. Even though we haven't had a Contra game in years, except for that, everyone keeps on saying Konami IPs.
Because they're about as memorable as Capcom and Nintendo IPs.
Fair enough. There's a 5th question here, but it's about Nintendo's online service, so I'm not going to use it because we're going to talk about it next week when everyone gets a chance to have a hands-on with it. So that's the end of the podcast. I guess you guys can pimp out whatever you want to pimp out, and then we can wrap things up.
Well, I just recently posted an article about Nintendo Dream Magazine's top 20 favorite video game characters.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know who was on the list?
No, but I can guess. There's probably Mario on there somewhere. Link,
he's at number 2.
Samus. Yeah, Link, Samus. Like
Samus is not on the list.
Probably the usual suspects of characters. Joel, anything you want to pimp up before we wrap things up?
With what I'm doing right now, I'm just trying to work with what I have and edit a bit, or at least try to edit it. So if anything, I'm just busy trying to do a video, which is my first one in ages and be the first one I walk into. So I'll let you guys know.
All right. So I guess I'll before I wrap up, we have a few more comments from the viewers. Lazy One says these are games that need to be brought back, I guess. Ice Climbers. Weister20 says Snowboard Kids. Oh man, I'd love another Snowboard Kids. That was a good game. The Lazy One says the game that needs a face revival plus people to know Ice. Okay, he says Shin Megami Tensei 1 and 2 really need a facelift. Yeah, those games would be, but they already did a facelift on the PS1 for those 2 games, but they didn't sell that well because, you know, Shin Megami Tensei is really kind of niche. I love it, but I know a lot of people don't. But yeah, that's the end of the podcast. Thank you for joining. I think I'll have some videos coming out this week, possibly. So stay tuned, enjoy. We'll talk next week about our thoughts on Nintendo's online. I know some people are not happy about it. I'm just going to tell you right now, it seems a little meh to me, but until I get my hands on it, I can't give you I can't tell you if my suspicions are confirmed or not. But considering that, my sense of judgment when it comes to these types of things hasn't really been that wrong that often, I could be right, could be wrong, who knows? Won't know till next week. So stay tuned to that. It's going to be another BS Buster, same bat time, same bat place. Thank you and enjoy. Good night.
And hype responsibly.